Hello, welcome to a benchmark for Project Cars. My name is Polymus Crime and I've been waiting for this one for quite some time. Now, I really like my simulators and this one was delayed a couple of times. And I've been keeping myself happy with Assetto Corsa, but a lot of people have been comparing them. So, let's see how this one performs. Now, this one is not so much of a gameplay video, it's more of a performance video. So we won't be talking too much about the gameplay, even though I do think this game is great. It's hard, but it's great. But we are going to take a look at how I have it set up. Now, when you first start the game, it asks you to pick between easy, amateur, and pro. Obviously, that depends on that will change certain settings in the car, certain assists. It will change your weather and your wear of the tires and things like that. And like a sadist, I went for pro because I like my simulators. And what you're seeing here is what pro gives you. So it pretty much turns all the assists off. Steering assist off, braking assist is off, stability control off, traction control off, full damage, mechanical failures yes, tire wear yes, fuel usage yes, except for anti-lock brakes. Anti-lock brakes is turned off if you pick professional. I turned it on because I can't imagine anyone racing without anti-lock brakes. I might be wrong, maybe professionals do, but I don't want to. So yes, I have it on probe and then turned anti-lock brakes on. So that's enough about that. Controls, I really would like to play this on a steering wheel. I'm actually going to order one today, I think, but for now I'm going to be, that's how good this game is, by the way. I'm going to be playing on the Xbox 360 controller, and I'm going to be playing it in manual as well because it's a sim and that's the way that it should be. So moving on to the visuals of what this video is about. Now, the visual effects, I have it all on. They all default on. I have them all on, all of these things. Lens flare, all the sun, the bloom and everything, and it looks really good because this game's got dynamic weather and it looks really nice. We'll come back to performance in a second. There's this thing here over on hardware called used shared memory. Now I've tried this on and I've tried this off, and frankly, it doesn't make much difference. So it defaults to off, we're going to leave it off. So back to performance. And everything here is near enough maxed out except for the AA, which we'll come back to in a second. So you've got resolution. I have it in windowed mode, as you can see the window around me, because using two cards, SLI, for some reason on my monitor doesn't want to go to full screen. But you can pick it, windowed on or off. So I just have it on yes. Texture resolution high, it's as high as it can go. Same as this, it's all default. I turned VSync off. Actually I didn't turn VSync off, it was defaulted off. Anti-aliasing we'll come back to in a second. This is all on ultra and all as high as it can go. Motion blur, I think I turned motion blur up because I like it, and it's not incredibly demanding with it. The AA is the biggest problem. Now, what I'm going to do is show you with all the AA off, because this is the best for performance, and you do get quite high frame rates with it. What I'm going to do after that is show you with all the AA on, and then I'm going to show you how I prefer to have it. So you do get several different types of AA here. You get the FXAA, which you can turn up to high. You get SMAA, which you can turn up to ultra. And you do get an overall anti-aliasing setting. I assume it's for whichever one of these you choose. I might be wrong on that. But it goes from MSAA, high, which is where I leave it. This is where I think is the happy medium, but we're going to try it with off first. But you can go above high. You can go up to DS2X, DS2M, DS4X, DS6X, and DS9X. No idea what any of them is. But we're going to try it with off first, and then we're going to come back and talk about that in a second. So, that's enough waffle for now. Let's jump straight into a game. Now, I would show you career, but when you start career, and I may have just picked this, but you can't change it once you've picked it. I picked go-karts, and we don't want to see go-karts right now. I want to see something that's a little bit more hectic. So I picked something that I feel is a really good benchmark. It's got the sun is blooming down, and it really does show some nice sun effects. And there's heavy traffic. There's 19 opponents. So what we've got is a race weekend. You can do these solo events in this game. You've got 19 opponents. Now you can pick any car you want. As you can see, there's a whole bunch of fucking cars to pick. And you can pick any car you want. I like the Zonda. I really like the Zonda. It's not easy to drive. It's a fucking nightmare to drive. But it just feels incredible. So, that's the car that we're going to be using. And of course, my favourite, the Nürburgring. But look how many tracks you have to pick. The variety is just incredible. So many. If you are into your car games or into your car sims or anything, you should be getting this. Gameplay is actually really strong. It doesn't feel 100% sim, even though you can fuck with everything, but it feels good. Okay, so let's jump straight into the race and show you just exactly what the performance is like. This is with the AA off completely. Remember, everything maxed except for the AA. Moves the mouse out the way. Okay, so at the moment we're sitting around the 70 frames per second mark. Into first, put the brake, let's go. I got a good start. That's definitely a positive. Definitely helps. I've had it here where I've spun it off the line. Started wrong and spun it. So as you can see, the sun is nice. It's going to balloon through the trees in a second. There you go. Bright light particles. It all looks awesome. And it performs really good. It doesn't really drop below 60. And it even peaks up to about 100. Oh, what did you do? You fucked me up there, boy. But this video is not about player skill. It's about performance. So that's good. As you can see, when there's not much going on the screen, the frame rates do go up quite a bit. Fire coming out the back of that car. And I've had to turn the audio down. The audio is insane in this game. It's really, really, really loud. I'm hoping that this comes through alright and you can hear me. But we're not going to go much further than that. We are going to stop right here. And even though it looked like I just crashed, it is on purpose. So I'll show you something down here. In the shade, look, frames go up. But as you can see, the FPS will go down as you come into the sun. Not too bad. Not too bad. I think it's just with the motion blur when I'm speeding. Now, with AA off, there is this thing that you get on the screen. See that? That residue that you have on the screen, that is completely low res, and I do feel that you do need some AA on it. It does look better when you put the AA on. But yeah, you're getting about 120 frames per second until you start going at decent speed, and then it comes right down. But when there's no cars about, the frame's going up as well. So that does all make a difference. Now, let's jump out of this, and you have to restart the game every time you make an adjustment to the settings. So what I'll do is I'll show you how I'm going to change it, and then we'll have to restart the game and I'll pick it up again. So let's go back to visuals, and this time we are going to put the AA to full, and then I'm going to show you the settings that I prefer. So let's go with that DSX9, and we'll go with, so you can only have one of these on. So we'll DX9 full with FXAA high. We'll try that one first, and then we'll come back and try this one, and then I'll show you my preferred settings. So first we'll try DS9X and then FXAA high. Yes, please restart the game. So I'm going to restart the game, and I'll be right back. Okay then guys, welcome back. So the AA has been changed to anti-aliasing DS9X, which is as high as it can go, and we're going to try FXAA first, which is as high as it can go, as high. SMAA does go to ultra, but FXAA only goes to high. So let's try that one first, and we'll do exactly the same test. We probably won't do it for as long, but we'll do the same test. See what the difference is here. Okay, so you see the frames are lower already. Put it into first. Put the revs up. Ready on that green. Let's go! Oh, almost lost it on the start then. Do we have all the assists off except for the braking assist? As you see, look at that, frame's taking a hit. It's nowhere near as fun to play like this. Shit. Yeah, it's a lot harder to play like that with the low frame rate. We've got a bit of an input lag. Try and catch up with the other cars. Ow, ow, ow. Yeah, performance is really shit like this, isn't it? Okay. That is mechanical fault, yeah. As you can see, the frames do not really go above 60. And they go... Oh, this car does not feel good. And they go... Or they went all the way down to like 30 something, which is terrible. So, let's back up out of that. And let's change it to the SMAA. And we'll see what that's like. Visuals, performance. We'll turn FXAA off, and we'll go SMAA. That goes to Ultra. The FXAA doesn't go to Ultra for some reason. Right, we're going to try that. So it's going to ask me to restart. Yes, it is. So I'll be right back. Okay, folks, welcome back. So this time we have the FXAA off and the SMAA on Ultra. Let's back up out of this. We'll do exactly the same test again. I think this is a good test of the performance. And I don't know the differences between the AA, what they actually do, but I do think that FXAA doesn't perform as good as SMAA. We will see. It's looking, it's not looking like it's going above 60 at the moment. So into first, still got really low performance. Oh, that's a crazy start. Yeah, performance is terrible with this, isn't it? I think it might have actually been better with the FXAA. Imagine we didn't crash there, so we got lucky. Let's try and keep the cars in sight. We do. Performance is definitely more demanding when you've got the cars on the screen, so let's just try that. Yeah, the frame rate is really, really low. And when you think this is like 2980s, what the hell can you have to max this fucking shit out? I don't know. Maybe they're making it future-proof. Still, yeah, it's not very playable like that. It does. I don't know how much different it's going to look on this video, but it feels so much different at that low frame rate. So, what I want to show you is how I have it set up. And what I have it set up is with... I do have SMA on Ultra. I do have that on. Though I think I'm maybe changing it to FXAA because that FXAA was slightly better. But this I have down to high. Because I do think you do need some AA on. But I'm just going to show you what the performance is going from that down to high. So that's going to ask me to restart. So I'm going to restart one more time, and that'll be the last one, and then we'll end the benchmark there. So I'll be right back. Okay guys, welcome back to the final test that we're going to do. And as you can see, AA is set to high, and SMAA is ultra, FXAA is off. So let's run the same test again. And this is how I prefer to play it. This is how I have been playing it. I might change the SMAA for FXAA, but I do think this does look slightly better. But as long as it stays above 60 frames per second, which is what you want, I'm happy. So, on the brake, into first. Let's go for a good start. Yes. All the way nice and straight. Keep up with these guys. And as you can see, in the 60s, hopefully it won't drop down. Oh, this feels so much better. It feels like it's actually moving them. My controls are really responsive now. And I think in a car game, it's really important. I mean, it's important in any game. Doesn't make my driving any better, but the performance is definitely better when you have that on. So that's how I would recommend that you do it. You have the AA on high or off if you want, but you do need some AA in this game. There are some funky edges. And leave it down to SMAA. This is my preferred setting, and I think the performance is the best when you have it like this. So as I fucked up completely, we're going to end the benchmark there, and I recommend this game. That's all I'm going to say. If you like car games, you like simulators, go get it. The performance is good on 2980s, but the AA is the killer as usual. I'm assuming if you want to turn the AA off and tweak the settings, you can probably get it to run nice on any cards out there. It's just the AA that really is a performance hit, and as you can see with 2980s, when you put it all, crank it all up to the max, I'm having some difficulty too. So, there's been Performance of Project Cars. I've been Partner Scribe. Jump online so I can race you. I'll see you online.